Hello, welcome to Scrap Time episode 649. My name is Christine, and on today's episode, I'm showing you 4 new collections from Basic Gray, plus coordinating stamps from Hero Arts, and we're having a contest. Basic Gray has teamed up with Hero Arts, and Hero Arts is now providing stamps to coordinate with their new collections. This first collection I'm showing you is Hello Luscious, and so all the papers are from the 12 by 12 packs from Basic Gray. And this is one of the stamp sets. You can see on the back here the ledger that goes with this collection. So what I've done is I've stamped the ledger. This one has sort of a red on the pink. This is a blue on that sort of whitish. And then here we have just an orange on the yellow. You may not be able to see it. But what it does is it just provides some really great background texture to your card. Then this stamp set is actually from Sweet Threads, but it's a great stamp set that you can use on so many different projects. I love the little labels, and then there's some words that you can, sentiments that you can add, and then a couple flower designs. But I was able to use it here, and this Happy Birthday is actually from the Life of the Party stamp set, so you can interchange some of the stamp sets. That was Hello Luscious collection. So then here we have the Life of the Party collection. I love this paper with the little ice creams and popsicles to make sort of the kaleidoscope. And this is one of the rubber backgrounds is this great dot. You can see there, I loved how some were just outlines and then different variations of darkness and sort of textured. So that's a great dot stamp. And then there was a clear stamp set that had these great ice cream cones and hooray, party, happy birthday, a little banner. And so I stamped the images in both cases on pattern paper and cut it out and glued it together. So paper piecing. And then this was the sentiment there. I stamped again and just cut it out. Now they offer more stamp selections than what I'm showing you. I'm just showing you a sampling of the clear and the rubber cling stamps. So that was Life of the Party. So here we have Sweet Threads collection, and I love these tags. I'm on Pinterest, and I had tagged this whole slew of tags. So on the blog post, I will put a link to where my inspiration came from these tags. But I thought they were really fun. So what I did again is I started with this background design. This is the Sweet Threads collection. This is Sweet Threads Antique, and I loved that design. And again, I stamped in, here's a darker one, sort of the red on the red, a pink on pink, orange on orange, green on green. So it just gives you a little bit of texture to the already texture that's there. Then again, I used this stamp set once again. This is actually a Sweet Threads stamp set. But you can see here by using them just like this, you can leave that spot open to write in to and from, whatever, if you're adding these onto a gift. I used the papers from the Sweet Threads collection. There were so many pretty designs. And the butterflies were actually from Cosmo Cricket that I showed you the other day. Then this is a great way to use some little tiny bits of ribbon you have lying around. I stamped the flower. Here's the flower from the stamp set, and just added a different colored button. This one had 2 holes, so I tied a little bit of my twine and a little bow. I just found with the 4-hole buttons, they were a little large. If you had done it ahead of time, it would work. But that is the Sweet Threads collection. Then we have Lauderdale. So Lauderdale is fun and bright and funky. I have 2 background stamps. This first one is this one with the butterfly and flowers and leaves. So I decided to do it in black on the pattern paper, and so it's really bold and shows up. And then the next design is this one here. It is sort of the trees. And here I used it again in black, so it's very bold. And I thought with this papers, the bold was fun. there was a sheet of paper that had all these words on it, so I cut it out for each of the tags. I used some difference of the patterns. I layered it up. All these little shapes here were from that same sheet of paper and the clouds. I added a bit of pom-pom trim to them all. And so if you compared these to the last tags, these are really bold and funky and bright and fun. So I just want to show you how you can take one stamp, and by depending what you use to what color, how it would change the feel of the stamp. So I'm going to use this Adirondack Bright Watermelon Pigment ink. I'm going to ink up our stamp. Now when you're using a big ink pad like this, you'll see sometimes you get lines, and you want to try and work those in. Otherwise you'll end up with lines when you stamp. I can never tell if I've put enough ink on or not, but I guess we'll see when we test it out. When I stamp with the background stamp, I prefer to put my paper to the stamp and just burnish it on. If you were doing a smaller piece that didn't cover the whole stamp, what's good to do is you get a piece of computer paper, just sheet of whatever paper, put it over top of this, and then put your fingers on, and then that way your fingers won't transfer any ink to the back of your card. So there we have the red on the yellow, and it's pretty. Put it there while I just wipe off some of this ink. Because it's a bold image, I find I can just try and wipe off some of the ink this way. Good enough. So next, I'm going to use my Jet Black Archival ink, again by Ranger. At least with black, you see whether or not it's on. That's good enough. And again, I'm going to put my sheet over top. And I really liked this print too from the Lauderdale collection. This yellow floral was really pretty. Okay, that should be good. So you can see the difference. Here we've stamped the same image, one in a sort of tonal red that it doesn't blend, but it coordinates more, and then the black. And just how different your image looks and how graphic this is compared to how this will just sort of blend. So depending on what you're doing, test out trying different color inks and how they react with your pattern paper and the looks you're going for. And there we have a lot of collections from Basic Gray with coordinating stamps from Hero Arts. I ended up getting 2 of this stamp set since it was actually mislabeled, so it's actually called Lauderdale Floral. It was supposed to be this stamp set here, but it's this stamp set, and because of that I have this stamp set to give away. So as long as you don't mind that it's in the wrong package, I mean the stamps are perfect. So I am giving away this stamp set. I used it in quite a few of my samples. I think it's very versatile, and if you would like to win it, check out my site at www.scraptime.ca to find out how you can enter to win this fabulous stamp set from Hero Arts. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out my website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I'm showing you 2 new collections from Fancy Pants. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.